Welcome back everyone to another episode of ShadeTV. My name is Marissa Hill and today we are going to be covering 4 of the newest colorways for Salomon's XT-Whisper in the white rendition, the black rendition, as well as the Oxford tan and this beautiful ashes of roses. Let's take a quick sneak peek on all of these 4 colorways. Welcome back everyone to another unboxing and review. If you're joining us for the first time, be sure to hit that subscribe down below if you're not already subscribed to the channel, and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy these unboxing and styling segments. Today we are going to be covering all 4 different variations of colorways that Salomon will be releasing for the XT-Whisper silhouette on February 4th. We'll go through the overview of these, jump into size and fit, which will be very important on this specific silhouette. Then we'll talk about how I styled each different 4 colorways. Definitely let me know in the comments which of the 4 you enjoyed the most, and then we'll conclude with where you can find these different colors on February 4th. Let's jump right into it. So as far as the XT-Whisper, this is definitely an archival, inspirational trail sneaker that came from the 2000s and was basically brought back to life. For those of you who have seen the XT Hawk, that is the specific silhouette that this variation draws inspiration from. One of my favorite collaborations that was done for this specific year was the Sandy Liang's. It was insane. The pops of pinks and red tones and color combinations really spoke so nicely on the XT-Whisper. So I'm so excited to see that Salomon has decided to release some general colorways to the public in black, white, Oxford tan, and ashes of roses. So as far as the look and feel of these, this is a really just cool trail looking sneaker. I love the different color variations. I feel like everyone needs a black sneaker in their entire wardrobe, a specific white sneaker in their wardrobe. So these are 2 staple colorways, but if you want to have some fun, I feel like these 2 colorway options are great for the fall as well as the springtime coming up. I feel like the ashes of roses is such a great lavender color scheme, while the Oxford tan is also just a nice neutral tone where I feel like you can honestly wear this year round. So 4 different great options, especially if those of you weren't able to snag a pair of those Sandy Liang's, which were a little bit more limited. These will definitely be more readily available to the public. As far as some similarities to that XT Hawk, this definitely has one of my favorite pieces, which is this quick lace technology. So this is really easy. You don't have to lace up your sneakers like a normal typical sneaker lace system, and this will stay really pretty much locked as you're running around or doing whatever it is in your sneakers. And then as far as the meshing goes, this has an anti-debris mesh, and it's just really lightweight in hand as well, which is something that I really love in a sneaker right now, especially since I'm typically walking and running around the city all day in my pairs. All right, so now we will jump into size and fit. So as far as Salomon's go, if you are new to this brand, sizing is a little bit different. I would say it's a bit more comparable to Adidas size ranges. I always say to those who really want to find their perfect size to always go with the European sizing, as that's more universal for all different brands. As far as these different silhouettes go, I actually have a couple different size variations that I tested out to make sure that I got the right size for my foot. Again, starting with what type of foot you have really matters. I have very high arch feet that are narrow. So if you have flatter, wider feet, that could definitely differ from my own, since we do have different types of feet. And also depending upon what type of socks you wear. Sometimes I like to wear thinner socks in warmer seasons and thicker socks in colder seasons. So that's also something to consider when looking at your size range. So as far as the different sizes that I went for, I'll start with women's sizing. So I'm typically a woman's size 9, which is equivalent to a men's size 7.5. And as far as European sizing goes, I'm a 40.5. For Salomon in the European size range, I'm actually between two of the sizing. So for a woman's 8 or a men's 7, that's a 40. And then for a woman's 8.5, which is a men's 7.5, that's 40 2/3. So I'm actually kind of in the middle of that. And as far as a woman's size 9, which would be my true woman's size, or a woman or a men's size 8, that would be a 40 and 41 1/3. So let's talk about my actual perfect size, which ended up being a woman's size 8. So again, going back, I'm typically a size 9, but in Salomon's, I feel like the woman's size 8 fits me perfectly if, of course, I'm wearing thin socks. But when I put on thicker socks, it was a little snug in the toe box region. So I feel like when wearing thicker socks, a woman's 8.5 or 7.5 in men's actually is my perfect fit. As far as the larger true to size women's size of size 9, it was way too big even with my thick socks. So I would recommend to actually go a full size down if you're planning on wearing just a thin sock. But if you are going with a thicker sock, I feel like, again, sizing just up a little bit to the 8.5 instead of the 8 worked perfectly for me in that women's size range. So I do want to talk about the shape and feel of the silhouette. So as far as the toe box region, it is quite narrow up there. So if you have flat or wider feet, you may want to size up. And as far as the base goes, this is definitely a wider width when it hits your ankle area. So if you do have kind of wider ankles or thicker legs, this is definitely a great sneaker for you. Now let's talk about styling each of these different colorways. They are so very different in different ways. Definitely layered up because it's very cold out in New York right now, but you can also piece some of my layers off to kind of come up with some other types of looks as well if you do live in warmer environments. So let's start out actually with the black colorway. I feel like black for New York is definitely a staple sneaker that everyone needs to have in their wardrobe. So for this look, I decided to wear some red as my pop of color with this, which was a red blazer with a matching pair of pants. I then layered that with a nice black pea coat and a nice just simple black scarf. And as far as pops of colors go, I do feel like you can kind of mix and match with this, but I definitely feel like black and red go very nice together.
Si tu savais tout ce que je veux donner pour toi, mon amour. Si tu savais tout le bien que je pourrais te faire pour toujours. Si tu savais comme je voudrais n'aimer que toi, mon amour. Si juste tu me...
Then for the white colorway, I feel like you can definitely have a little bit of fun with this. I decided to bring some more pops of color with this sweater that was kind of a gold and blue and gray tone. And then for the pants, I decided to wear some nice, just simple khaki pants. I wore a Yankee beanie that was in a nice neutral tan tone to kind of pull off the colors in the sweater. And then I wore a black puffer coat to kind of layer that because it's very cold again, with a leopard printed belt. And then I wore a nice, just simple puffer black bag.
Tu me sais, tu sais les filles comment ne reste pas longtemps, mon amour. Il faut les attraper très vite avant qu'elles partent pour toujours. Tu as de la chance que je sois présente, mais si tu rêves mon amour, je risque de m'envoler, tu le sais. Si tu veux avoir du temps, réfléchir à ma promesse. Les pas de carré court, pas tant.
As far as the Oxford tan goes, I feel like this is just a fun winter fall colorway. I really love that we've got some hints of this kind of Bordeaux tone at the bottom. So I layered it with a nice houndstooth trench coat on top of a leopard print fleece. Underneath that, I had a nice denim button down, and underneath that, I had a nice gray hooded sweatshirt. And then I wore a nice cool printed tie that was this Bordeaux colorway with some navy. And then I wore some simple, just brown corduroy pants that were wide width. And then I also added in some nice, just simple gloves that were in a Bordeaux shade to kind of match the accents of this, with a brown crossbody bag.
Si tu veux avoir du temps, réfléchir à ma promesse. Je te dis tu vas me perdre. Ne réfléchis pas trop, la vie est courte, mon amour. Ne réfléchis pas pas trop, la vie est courte. Ne réfléchis pas trop, la vie est courte, mon amour. Ne réfléchis pas trop. Si tu réfléchis trop, ça va te rendre malade, mon amour.
And then for the last colorway, I think this colorway is actually going to be perfect as the weather kind of heats up for the springtime. I really love the lavender shades in this. This lavender can be a little hard to match perfectly, but I decided to go with an all kind of gray look with different shades of gray and bring kind of a periwinkle blue into the mix to match this. So I went with some gray sweatpants that were wide width, and then for the top, I decided to wear this nice thick gray sweater with a gray scarf. And I layered that with a charcoal coat. And then I decided to wear some blue accents with some periwinkle toned leather gloves and a nice balaclava that was in a gray hue. And then I layered that with a nice blue ball
Lâche
cap.
ton corps, respire bien fort, oublie ce qu'il y a autour. Avec moi, je te promets, tu seras heureux, mon amour. Alors fais-moi confiance. Dis-moi à quoi tu penses. Je sais que t'as peur, moi aussi, j'ai peur d'ouvrir mon cœur. Je ne veux plus être bloqué, je préfère l'amour à la peur. Je sais qu'en toi, il y a cette flamme qui brûle et brille comme de l'or. Je pense qu'on est âme sœur, tu le sens. Si tu veux avoir du temps, réfléchir mes promesses.
So let me know definitely which of the 4 colorways are your favorite and which of the 4 looks was your favorite as well.
And I don't know where I run to, but it could be oblivion. I dream I was making love to a whole new life. Now my lesson was I'll skip the reminder of what's left for me. If I turn around, you let me down.
The feel, the price point of these, this is definitely, I feel like, a staple sneaker that you should definitely test out to have in your collection. As far as the exact release date, again, these will be releasing on February 4th on Salomon's website, as well as KITH and Nordstrom's in all 4 different color variations. I really am having a hard time picking which color is my favorite. You'll have to let me know which is yours, but good luck to anyone going after these pairs. If you have any comments or questions, again, leave those down below in the comment box. That is it for this unboxing and review. My name is Marissa Hill. This is ShadeTV. We'll catch you on the next episode.